Ever wonder what makes a website convert better than others? Why some e-commerces and DTC brands or even service providers are able to close more sales and they have a similar offer, but there is just something there in their website that is just making them convert like mwah, chef's kiss. Well, in this video, I'm going to teach you everything about CRO, which means conversion rate optimization, and we're going to delve right into the things that make your website unique and make them convert like what I said, chef's kiss. So if you want to learn how to convert, keep on watching because this video has the top 20 CRO tips, and I'm going to give you a checklist. If you comment the word checklist down below, I'll send you a checklist so you can keep it for you and your next page or your next launch or landing page or sales page.
Welcome to the Acta Numbrega podcast. I'm Minty, and here we'll talk about business, freelance, mindset, education, mental health, life, personal growth, and everything to help you overcome your fears, know yourself, and create the life and career of your dreams. Episodes in English and Spanish every week.
Okay, so first of all, what is CRO? So CRO basically stands for conversion rate optimization, and it is right there in the title. What that means is you do everything you can in order to improve the conversion rate of your page, of your landing page, of your sales page, your sales letter, your squeeze page, your advertorial, your checkout page, your PDP, pretty much everything out there that you have to sell your products or to have people join in a wait list or anything that you want conversion on. So this can be applied to almost any part of your entire funnel. Now, let's dive right into, now that you know what that is, let's dive right into my top 20 things you need to have on check in order to have great conversion rate optimization in your page. So the first one is, of course, and it makes complete sense. And by the way, this is in no way, shape, or form in order. Remember, I have ADHD, so they just come in. So the first one is to have clear calls to actions, or CTAs. The thing with marketing is sometimes marketers and copywriters get too creative to a point where it's no longer easy to understand, like, okay, but what you're offering and what's the next thing that I have to do? Where is the action that you want me to take? And they have this crazy creative and stupid call to actions that make no sense. And you know what? The user just needs to know that they have to buy now. So don't make it complicated. Don't get too creative. Be precise. Buy now, shop now, get your free guide now, save your spot, learn more. Easy. The second is utilizing social proof. And this is so important. So many people are leaving behind all of their beautiful reviews and testimonials and case studies and even user-generated content, so UGC. So when you have that, if you do have that, I do recommend you add several rounds throughout the entire page to build credibility. Remember, some people that land in your landing page or your sales page know nothing about you. So you need to show them that, hey, they like what I sold them. This person thinks this, and that. And some companies go as far as even inventing and coming up with amazing testimonials. And if you are that shady, which I don't recommend, don't make it so obvious and write like the best testimonial ever. Again, I don't recommend that. If you don't have any testimonials, then really provide a service to someone for free or offer the products to your family even, but get real testimonials, okay? Let's keep it ethical around here, please. So the next one, so the third one would be to optimize the checkout experience. And this is so important. So many people forget about the checkout. The checkout page is everything. It can really throw off your entire funnel because everything comes down to that point, the checkout, the sell. When people put in the number of their credit card, when they give you the credit card, that's the most important part of the entire journey. And if you're ruining that, then you're setting up yourself for failure. So make sure that your checkout page is UX UX is correctly, the copy is there, it's clear, the prices are optimized for conversion, aka you keep the dollar sign smaller than the number, lighter in color, you put up a secure payment if that's your case. If you do have that, add that there. People are scared to input their credit card details because of cybersecurity. And so just give them that extra step of trust. And you can even use colors in this place. For example, when we were talking about the CTAs, and I'm going to make an entire video about this, but use the colors. Do you want to build trust? Use the color blue. Do you want to sell an experience? Well, then sell a violet color. Do you want to sell the idea that people are going to make money out of it? Then use yellow. Do you want to show yourself as a pure seller? Then use white. Do you want to give a sense of urgency? Then use red. All of these things and more. And then you can use green if you, it's like, yeah, let's go, let's go, let's go. Just use everything that you have in order to improve that. And as for the buttons, if you round the corners, that creates more trust. So there you go. That's another tip. Now, use scarcity tactics. Use like countdowns and special offers that are going to end as soon as they close. Like remind them, like, if you close this window, you'll never see this deal again. Put like a countdown, use the color red, give an extra bonus only and only if they check out at that part. Give them an extra offer. That way you can even give them a sell, like an upsell. Maybe you can offer another item or another bonus or another coaching class or whatever you sell. Improve that experience just there and only there, because if they leave that place and then they come back and you still have the same offer, then you're no longer trustworthy, because trustworthiness doesn't only come from testimonials, it comes from what you do. So if you're saying that this is the last chance you have and then you keep on doing that, well, guess what? They're not going to believe you anymore. Now, simplify the website navigation. Oh my God, so many times I've seen time and time again pages that make no sense at all. Like you're just there and you're like, okay, but where do I go? What do I do? Tell me, what do I do? So yeah, simplify the website navigation. That's super, super important. Use intuitive menus and clear paths to conversion. Don't overcomplicate it. You don't even need to do that. Something that you can do is like using a sticky menu bar that highlights the more important links, for example, or use a scroll down, or just use copy that is super clear, straight to the point, nothing too fancy, nothing too creative, just straight to the point, okay? And keep it short. You don't need to do it super long. I'm going to make a video about that because there's a difference between long form copy and short form copy. But if you're at the checkout portion of the very last part of the offer, or people already know about you and about the things that you're offering, then keep it short. You don't need to make it super, super long. The number I forgot is highlight the benefits over the features. So feature to benefit is one of my favorite copywriting formulas ever, because it's like you get the best of both worlds. You get to showcase what the product or the service has and how would that benefit the person buying. So you do need to have that in place. So for example, I'm going to give you a quick example. Say 3 hours a day versus advanced scheduling features, for example. Like that wouldn't make sense at all. So you do want to use wording that makes sense, that showcases the feature and at the same time the benefit that you're offering. Next one is optimize your forms. So reduce the number of fields to minimize friction. For example, use only name and email fields for quickly signups. Don't make it so long that you're losing people. People are lazy. They don't want to read a lot. They don't want to fill out so much, especially in e-commerce. Now, if you're talking about something more expensive, like a program or something, and you do need to have more information, in that case, when it's something that requires people to invest, they also feel like they should be investing time, because that gives them the idea that you're investing time in them as well. So the more questions you ask, the more likely they are to purchase. But if we're talking about DTC e-commerce, then you do want to keep it short and sweet. You just want to grab their email, their first name. That's all you need for email sales in the future. Now, use exit intent pop-ups. So use this opportunity to catch users before they leave. For example, you can display a wait, get 10% off before you go pop-up, or just a copy right there, but a pop-up works super, super well. So I would stick to the pop-up if you know how to put that or your team knows how to do it. The next one would be to employ visual hierarchy in the layout. And what I mean by this is use eye tracking methods. People, when they read, they are not reading the entire sales page. They're just like scanning it with their eyes. Okay. And that's the good use of heat maps. So if you never used a heat map, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you add that in your website. You can use maybe a page like Yacht Forums, or there are many, many other applications that you can put in your page. And that way you see where people click the most. And you can also see where people tend to divert their attention to, so that way you can improve the experience of the person going through your page, so you can optimize it for conversion. So in that sense, you can guide the reader's attention using fonts, colors, spacing, photos, videos, every single element that you can add that will help maintain the attention and redirect the reader to where you want to direct them. That's where you really need that. And you can use like different types of fonts, and you can use columns and one paragraphs and center and one picture here and the text here and one picture here and the text here and the CTA here. Like, you can play around with it, but you have to be aware of how the information goes and how people look at the page. So that is why copywriting without UX copywriting makes no sense. And that's why also designing hasn't have to be beautiful only. It needs to be optimized for conversions as well. So if you want to make a ton of money, you need to have all of that information in place. Okay. Now, let's go to the next one, which is to address potential objections. Oof, I love this one. So have you ever seen those FAQs where people just address normal questions that anyone would have? Well, that's great. You do want to have that in your page, but you also want to use that FAQ to address objections, because people are going to be there trying to find excuses to complete the sales. And you know why? Because people buy with their hearts, with their emotion, but before purchasing something, in their brain, they want to make the logical decision that they actually made the decision to buy. So in that sense, you need to justify that emotional need for the sale with the brain by giving them the reasons why they should be buying from you and not someone else, or why they need your product or service. And you can use the FAQ section to object, to use it as objections. For example, you can add a few normal FAQ questions like, will I get a refund, or something like that, which is still an objection, because people would be like, well, I don't know if I should invest in this. Well, yes, you can, because I'm going to give you a refund if you don't like it. Or you can use other types of free returns if you're not satisfied, or anything that makes sense with what you're offering. You need to add that in there too. So I normally recommend up to 8, 10 as much. And out of those 8 FAQs, you could make 4 that are actual FAQs and 4 that are objection handling copy. Now, the next one is to use high quality visuals. And what I mean by high quality is not just the quality. That's obvious, that's a given, right? But we're talking about things that have color, things that grab your attention, things that communicate what you want to communicate, depending on what you're selling. Are you selling a luxury item? Then you need to communicate luxury. Are you selling a course? Then you need to communicate that they're going to get value out of that course. Are you selling clothes? Then you need to communicate that that's going to look amazing. You can use befores and afters. Are you selling a fitness program? Then you need to sell also you need to sell what they will get, so the final result. So use a lot of transformation photos. Are you selling e-commerce things and you want to showcase the benefits? Use that in the photo. Use the photo for copy as well. You want to make sure that everything is optimized for conversion. You want the images to communicate the same thing that the copy and the product is communicating, and you can use nonverbal cues for that. Are you selling a vacation? Then sell the experience. Don't just show the place. Show people enjoying the place. You know what I mean? Then let's go to the next one, which is testing different CTA placements. if you're doing A/B testing, I highly recommend that you do, because that way you can find the winning landing page or the winning sales page. So you can really compare how everything is converting, and you can even you can grab specific parts of the landing page or the sales page, and then you can put them all together, which is amazing. Like maybe you see that in page one or version one, something converted better than version B, but overall version B made more money. And then that's where you come up with a strategy to improve that and then have the final one. So you need to do that. And one of that is the CTA placements. Don't just add one or two. You can sandwich them. You can put one, you can put specific different CTAs, although I don't recommend having them all over the page. I do recommend for sure having one above the fold and one at the bottom, and then one sandwich, so in the middle. You want to have as many CTAs as possible without being overwhelming and too salesy, like, always trying to get the sell, because that way you come across as too pushy and people aren't going to buy from you. Next one is to incorporate trust signals. And this is what I meant before, like, verified by Trustpilot or secure checkout, the security badges that give people the sense of trust. And if you're offering refunds, put that there. If it's a doctor formulated product, then put that there. If it's a product that an influencer uses or recommends, then use that. You can also use UGC for that same thing, and testimonials. You can do all sorts of things. The next one, and this is very important, utilize it for mobile. Before you launch your website, make sure to have a look at how it looks on your website, on your mobile, because 90% or 80% of the sales are made through the phone. So you really need to make sure that the copy, that the layout, everything is mobile friendly, especially mobile friendly. Also website, both of them need to be on check. So make sure to test that before you do that. In that sense, you do want to make sure that the buttons are in place, that the place is responsive, that the site is responsive. You want to make sure that the fonts are easy to read, because it will look very different on mobile than it does in your website, so in your computer. So you need to make sure to check that before you launch the website. The next one is to utilize personalization. And I love this so much. That's why before you even begin to write your copy, which is the first step to any single page, you first write the copy before writing the copy, a good copywriter, what they would do is to really analyze every single thing. Like even under the rug, you need to understand, breathe, and speak the language of the people you're writing for. So you don't have to write for, oh my God, my copy looks amazing. No, you need to speak their language. So you really, really need to understand what your target audience wants, what they need, how they speak, and all of that. So make sure to check that out before you even begin the copy process. And the more you can personalize it, the better. I'm going to give you an example. I had a client who had a website that they needed to improve. So they wanted to optimize it. And the good thing about this was that it was so vague that it was so easy to make, because he was not talking to anyone. So what I did there was to use a lot of personalization. It was a business that was mentoring other business coaches to improve their sales pages, and it was actually about copywriting. But my client wasn't. He didn't make like a great job at like understanding what their real audience was, because he was trying to target everyone and their mother. And after really understanding what their offer was and the type of customers they were getting, I was able to speak their language, and that led to a 35% more conversions, which was a lot in the very first draft. And then they kept on improving that with A/B testing. So that is very important. You need to speak their language, and by that I mean you first need to do a lot of research. Like I think I would say 80% of the job is that, and you do it only once. That's the good thing. You do it once, you create your playbook, and that's it. Now, the next one is to utilize visual cues to direct attention. Use arrows, use icons, use contrasting colors, anything that you can use to guide people's eye. Everything is about the eyes. Where are they going? Where are they scanning towards? You need to use that so you can really, really redirect people's attention towards the places that you really want them to read. So the copies, the photos you want them to see, the buttons you want them to click. Finally, you want to minimize distractions on your conversion page and you want to test different copy styles whilst you're doing that. What I'm trying to say here is keep the focus on the main CTAs and the main titles and the main copies and the main photos. You don't want to drive attention everywhere. Some bits, it's like you want to think of a page like a house. You have the foundations of the house and then you have the insides. You have the plants, you have all the beautiful things that make the house look nice. But the important thing is the structure, what keeps it standing, what keeps you alive, what keeps a roof on top of your head. So that would be what you want to pay attention to the most. And then, of course, sprinkle in a few nice things all over the place so that it drives attention and it drives the sale. And you create that sense of, I want to buy from you. But I hope that this helped. I want to keep this super short and sweet. Again, if you want to have the checklist, comment the word checklist and I'll send you my checklist for CRO with the top CRO items that every marketing copywriter needs to know and business owners as well. So I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like and subscribe if you did so you don't miss out another video. And please also let me know what other topics you want me to talk about. I'll be happy to help you. Again, thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe. Bye.